What's popping? I welcome back to Pop Health, and today we were looking at Panera Bread. Never thought I'd be saying that, but we were reacting to a lawsuit where one of the drinks to charge lemonade has caused the unaliving of a man. So this story fairly just recently broke, but basically Panera's Bread's highly caffeinated charged lemonade is now blamed for its second unaliving, according to a lawsuit filed Monday. Dennis Brown of Fleming Island, Florida, always in Florida, drank 3 charged lemonades from a local Panera on October 9th and then suffered a fatal cardiac arrest on his way home, the suit has said. Brown, 46, had an unspecified chromosomal deficiency disorder, a developmental delay in the mind, intellectual disability, and while he lived independently, frequently stopping at Panera Bread after his shifts, the legal complaint says he had high blood pressure, which caused him not to consume high energy drinks. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of Brown's mother, sister, and brother less than 2 months after Panera was hit with a separate lawsuit regarding Sarah Katz, who was an Ivy League student with a heart condition who unalived September 2022 after she drank a charged lemonade. That lawsuit, first reported by NBC News, called the beverage a dangerous energy drink and argued that Panera failed to appropriately warn consumers about its ingredients, which include the stimulant guarana extract. Panera has advertised its charged lemonade as a plant-based and clean alternative to caffeine, as it has much caffeine as our dark roast. I've never heard about this. Like I've only been to Panera Bread once, but it has about 390 milligrams of caffeine. A large of 30 fluid ounce charged lemonade has more caffeine in total than any size of Panera's dark roast coffee, the legal complaints say. The large cup contains more than the caffeine content of standard cans of Red Bull and Monster Energy drinks combined, plus the equivalent of nearly 30 teaspoons of sugar. Oh yeah, nah, that is not okay. Down here, the FDA says that healthy adults can safely consume 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. Yeah, so yeah, if he definitely had a heart condition, yeah, he definitely would overdrive, because he basically consumed all his daily allowance of caffeine are already in one, and he had 3. I now understand what happened in this case. It's unclear whether Brown knew how much caffeine and other stimulants were in the drink, which at the time of his death was available in self-serve dispensers and offered side by side with all the store's non-caffeinated or less caffeinated drinks, the suit says. Brown's cause of unaliving was cardiac arrest due to hypertensive disease. And what's interesting to me right here, after the first lawsuit, Panera put more detailed disclosures in all the restaurants and on its website, warning consumers or customers to consume the charged lemonade in moderation, saying that it's not recommended for children, people sensitive to caffeine, or nursing or pregnant women. And to really look in the context, what's the deal with charged lemonade? The mango, yuzu, citrus, and the strawberry lemon mint varieties each contain a whopping 260 milligrams, like I just said, of caffeine per 20-ounce serving. Our third option, Fuji apple cranberry, comes in a mere 259 mg. It's really not that much of a difference. So, to put that into context, an 8-ounce cup of coffee typically contains anywhere between 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine, and an 8.4-ounce Red Bull has 80 milligrams of caffeine, while other energies can typically go up to 250 milligrams per serving. So you are getting a lot in it, and I don't like it how it's being labeled as lemonade. This is a caffeinated drink. It might have a lemonade flavor, but it gets very confusing, because like even in very much soft drinks lemonade like Minute Maid, Mellow Yellow, actually I think that's Sprite, I don't know, but basically those drinks, those are considered like chilled. But at the end of the day, you're thinking lemonade, you wouldn't think of just like, they're actually having caffeine in it. It may just have a lot of sugar in it at most. But, having 250 milligrams of caffeine, like that is kind of excessive. And looking more into that, this story is about a content creator called Sarah Boss. Basically, she claims that she takes about 3 to 4 refills a day of charged lemonade. Basically, if you're having 5 regular sized cups of mango yuzu citrus flavor in a row, she had consumed about 1,300 milligrams of caffeine and 410 grams of sugar. For that reference, you have to drink more than 8 tall Americanos from Starbucks, consuming that much caffeine, and eat nearly 3 pints of Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia ice cream to take in that much sugar. Like, that is a lot of sugar to consume in just one day. And it's just like, you can't really just like, you're not okay doing that. Like, it's very much not safe for the public to drink that much sugar in one sitting. And one thing I really want to note too in this article, they say, you know, while charged lemonade isn't really dangerous, it is very, you know, sensitive, especially if you're sensitive to caffeine. Like it will give you a jolt of energy. And you also need to note that it's very individualized in the fact that, you know, let's say if you're drinking coffee, like basically, you know, in this article is saying that, hey, if you drink coffee probably like all day, you can still probably fall asleep at a reasonable time for some people, while some people might get jolted by the first cup of coffee or dark coffee or whatever. And yes, I would say it's very individualized, but it's just like you're still consuming an unhealthy amount of coffee if you are, you know, still doing that, and you may perceive yourself as fine, equating fine being like you're able to fall asleep at a reasonable time. Like you might not feel the effect happening in your body, but at the end of the day, you're still consuming that amount of sugar, that amount of caffeine, whether it be charged lemonade, coffee, soda, and all that. And while you might be fine physically, mentally, and all that, your body's not gonna be fine in the long term, because literally like it will break your body down. Like our body was not able to handle that much caffeine in a day. And unfortunately, the man and woman who passed away in these cases, they were called unlimited sip club members. Basically, right here, you're able to get free refills from the Panera unlimited sip club members. So my main thing is like, yes, I want to say this isn't completely on the company. As we go more into this article, I understand that you are responsible for your own body. You're responsible for what you put into it. However, you should not be promoting a product with this much caffeine and you're having like free refills to try and basically, you know, push a promotion like that. Also is the onus of the company at some point. And as you upgrade the size of the Panera Charged Lemonade to 30 ounces, you're getting about 390 milligrams of caffeine. Like I said, the daily limit of your caffeine intake that the FDA recommends, you're getting it in one cup of these like 30-ounce, you know, charged lemonades. And that's something like, you know, that's not okay. Like I just want people to realize like you shouldn't have that much power in one hand, and you shouldn't have 4 times the amount of that, you know, of what you can find in coffee into a drink that you're pushing as lemonade, like as a cool icy beverage, like, you know, like you drink in the summertime, that, you know, lemonade stands, you know, that has been, you know, very the big picture of the American dream. Like that is problematic in many ways. And to really understand, you know, comparison to Monster drink, basically a 16-ounce can of Monster is about 164 milligrams of caffeine. And so if you double that into like, let's say a 32-ounce can of Monster, you're basically getting about 328, you know, milligrams of caffeine. Like you're getting more caffeine in this lemonade than you're getting in 2 cans of Monsters. Let that really sink in. And like the other influencer, she had 4 of these. Like that is, you had equivalent to about 8 monsters, at least 8 monsters in one day. That isn't, like I said, not okay. Like I just want y'all to really realize that. Like that is insane to me. And here are more comparison charts to like other beverages. Basically in one 30-ounce large, you're getting more than a caffeine supplement, a can of Prime, or I said Monster, Red Bull, or Espresso Shot, can of Mountain Dew, a can of soda, dark cola, soft drinks. Like basically like one drink of charged lemonade, you're getting almost 10 times the amount of soda, like Coca-Cola soda. Like really think about when you drink one of these drinks, you're drinking about 10 cans of soda. Visualize that. Like at most, a lot of parents will not let their kids drink more than one soda a day, you know, literally like, you know, keep them healthy and whatever like that too. But if you let your kid drink this, you're allowing them to do all that, like drinking 10 cans of, you know, Pepsi, Cola, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, whatever. Like that's something like I want y'all to really just visualize. And so it gets to my next section of this article. Basically, people with certain medical conditions aren't allowed or should be advised to limit or avoid caffeine, especially pregnant people. They should not get no more than 200 milligrams daily, about 2 cups of coffee a day, because the higher risk you have, you know, caffeine, you know, disrupting, you know, the pregnancy cycle, and can be linked to miscarriage, preterm birth, and low baby weight. As well as a lot of people don't understand this, but you can actually overdose on caffeine just like other stimulants. Symptoms of a mild overdose include headache, fever, nausea, tinnitus, insomnia, and anxiety. In more severe cases, people may experience vomiting, chest pains, confusion, seizures, symptoms that would warrant a visit to the hospital. And with people with underlying heart conditions, such as the individuals in these cases, this can be very much dangerous effects, because as you have put more stimulants in the body, it can lead to accelerated heart rate, and it just, you know, bad mixture if you have a underlying condition, and like I don't think that needs to be explained even more. And the big question is that is caffeine regulated? And basically naturally occurring caffeine, such as one found in coffee or tea, is generally not regulated. Basically, the US government considers most energy drinks a dietary supplement, and the agency requires that companies ensure their products contain an amount of caffeine that is safe, but explicit limits are placed on carbonated drinks or cola type beverages. So it's basically kind of like, when it comes to CDC, when it comes to like, the Pandizzy, the CDC can't make laws. The CDC can't tell you what to do. Basically, CDC can only just give you kind of like a good, regulation and just like, hey, this is what should be in it. But there's no really like law saying that they can make you do certain things when it comes to like, Pandizzy with quarantines and all that. Those are recommendations. Same thing with FDA. The government and its regulatory bodies can't tell companies like, hey, you need to have this limit of caffeine or you're going to go to jail, you're gonna get fined, whatever. It just gives you a recommended list and regulations for you to be like, hey, stay within these limits. But ultimately companies can be like, F that, I'm gonna do whatever I want to, and you get charged lemonades like this. So that's one thing I really want to make clear. Like, there's no clear guidelines for labeling beverages or like outline just like, hey, say how many caffeines are in it or how you advertise it. It's just something that people need to do with common sense. So ultimately, my opinion of this, and don't take my word as a dietitian, don't take my word as sometime an expert in this space. I'm just giving my personal opinion, but also giving a little bit of my perspective from public health. Yes, we need to think better about what we drink, what we consume, and make sure we consume the right things. But also, we need to build a world where we can make better choices, make healthier choices, and it is very hard to consume or get people to understand that, because we live in America where you have the right to choose, the right to vote, the right right to be the person you want to be. But we don't understand that oftentimes choices are influenced by the environment you come from, like what's in the environment, what shapes the environment, what shapes our systems, policies that run our society. And so with this instance, we just stop need to look at the person and blaming them. We need to look at why was this drink allowed to be on the market in the first place? Because like I said, I make the argument, you shouldn't be getting your daily calories or all your daily caffeine consumption in one charged drink that you are allowed to refill. That is the thing I'm trying to get with this video. So if you like what you see today, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I will do a follow-up to the story, because this is pretty much a, this is a very, shocking story to begin with. And want to see more about content, some of our more reaction videos, especially the one to the bad surgeon documentary, is right here. So, y'all go see that. Other than that, stay warm, stay frosty, depending on what part of the country you're in, and peace out.